everyone, welcome back to another full day of eating. Today I am excited to share all the meals that I have been eating on my calorie deficit. Today I will be sharing an easy tofu seitan steak recipe with you guys. This recipe is so easy to make and you can add these seitan steaks to any of your meal to increase the protein. But before we begin, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Nisha. I'm a busy mom of two and I am a part-time personal trainer. My goal with this channel is to show you guys that eating healthy does not have to be complicated. You don't have to spend hours and hours in the kitchen preparing meals. I like to stick to healthy, simple, plant-based meals that help me feel satisfied and good while reaching my fitness goals. If you are someone who is looking to get fit and healthy on a plant-based diet, then consider subscribing to my channel and make sure to give this video a thumbs up as it really helps grow my channel. I will also briefly talk about how my calorie deficit is going in today's video. So far, my calorie deficit is going okay. And the reason I say it's going okay is because my adherence hasn't been the best. I have been probably 70% consistent on this calorie deficit. There are some days when I've been having higher calorie meals, so I am not seeing my progress as fast as I would like to, which is okay for me. I am just a regular mom who is trying to maintain a healthy, fit body. I am not trying to get stage lean. And the only reason I'm doing this calorie deficit is just to lean out a little bit and then go back to my maintenance calorie for the rest of the year to continue to put on some muscle mass. So some of the things that I have incorporated to stick to my calorie deficit is now I've started to track my calories, and the app that I use is Chronometer. And because I'm already very lean, I really don't have much room to eat more calories. So I really have to be precise with my nutrition. Tracking your calorie is a great tool and it really helps you stay on track. So that's one of the things that I am implementing to stick to my calorie deficit. And second thing that I'm doing is I am trying to make sure that my steps are higher throughout the day. I am trying to target between 12 to 15,000 steps per day. That's usually my typical step count. As I'm a very active person, I don't like to sit down, and I intentionally get up every hour and walk around the house or do things that are going to help me move my body. Third thing that I'm doing is I've started to add some sort of cardio in my routine. Before, I was not doing any cardio, and this is a zone 2 cardio, which is where your heart rate is not very high. You are still able to carry a conversation. So my typical cardio routine is about 20 to 30 minutes after my strength training session. And I usually do this 2 to 3 times a week, depending on if I have the time. And I try to do it at incline 10 on treadmill, and my speed ranges from 2.7 to 3. And that's it. I continue to just walk at this pace, and I am still comfortably able to speak while I am doing this zone 2 cardio. And fourth thing that I'm trying to do is optimizing my sleep. I've been really struggling with quality sleep lately, and I am noticing the difference on my energy level and hunger level the next day when I'm not sleeping properly. So I'm really trying my best to go to bed on time and incorporate some healthy bedtime routine to help me get a proper good night's sleep. Most people don't think that sleep plays a critical role when it comes to losing weight or trying to even put on muscles. But sleep is when we do recover and our body repairs overnight. And if we don't sleep properly and we are lacking sleep, our hunger hormones are also out of whack, and we tend to feel more hungry the next day, and we also have low energy. So unfortunately, it's a lose-lose situation when you are trying to lose weight, and if you are not sleeping properly at night, because you will be lacking in energy and you will also be moving less throughout the day. So sleep is extremely critical. And the last thing that I'm doing is I am making sure that I am cutting down on my snacks. Instead of having a higher calorie snack or a dessert, I tend to have a big bowl of watermelon first, because watermelon is super high in water content and volume, and it really helps you feel full and satisfied. And then after I have my bowl of watermelon, then I will, whatever I am craving, I will have a small piece of either a chocolate or whatever else. That way I am automatically decreasing my calorie and I'm increasing my level of satisfaction from that small bowl of fruit. My goal is to continue to maintain this calorie deficit for the next 3 weeks. And then at the end of that 3 weeks, I will share my results with you guys to see whether I was able to achieve any type of fat loss at all during this phase. So I hope you guys found these tips helpful. Without any further ado, let's get into today's video. For breakfast, I have been making these baked banana bread oats, and these turn out so good. They're super satisfying and delicious, and they're about 470 calories. I've been really enjoying these lately. I shared this recipe with you guys last week on YouTube Shorts. For my lunches, I have been trying to incorporate more salads again. So I have been really enjoying this kale salad. And to begin, I am just making a tahini balsamic vinegar dressing. And it's so delicious and super simple to make. I will leave all the details in the description box below. And for my kale salad, I have been adding some apples in there. And for my protein, I have been adding air-fried balsamic vinegar tofu as well. They go together so well. I will leave all the details in the description box below. And to make things simple and easy, I am just using this kale blend salad that I purchased from a grocery store. I know it's not organic. I'm okay with eating non-organic food sometimes, so I'm fine with that. And I added some cooked quinoa, about 100 grams of cooked quinoa, and this is air-fried balsamic vinegar tofu pieces for my protein, and then the dressing. And super simple and easy. If you don't like to add tofu to your salad, which I absolutely highly recommend, if you love tofu, you must try this. But if you don't, I have another kale salad recipe on my website. I will leave the details in the description box below for you to try. And in that salad, I add air-fried roasted chickpeas, and that works out really well as well. Highly recommend this lunch. It's super easy and so delicious. I can't praise this enough. Dinner was super simple. I made this delicious roasted veggie bowls with some tofu seitan steaks on top. And I always meal prep my seitan tofu steaks ahead of time. I am just showing you in this video how I made it. If you struggle to add protein in your diet, I highly recommend making this recipe. These tofu seitan steaks, I'm telling you guys, they turn out so delicious. My kids even, they love it and they beg for it. So in our house, this lasts only about 2 days. So I always meal prep double the quantity for us, but you do you. And with this blend, I am just adding extra firm silken tofu with some beets, cooked beets, and you will have leftover mixture of this. So you can do 3 things with this mixture. You can either store it in the fridge to make it later, or you can double up the batch, or you can use that mixture and add some strawberries to it and some maple syrup or sweetener of your choice and blend it, and then you will have this tofu dessert which tastes amazing. So it's up to you what you want to do with that leftover mixture for the tofu. You don't want to over knead the dough as it will get tough. You just want it to be nice and soft, and you can turn it into any shape you like, and then you want to cover it with either a nice baking dish on top or with a foil paper. You don't want it to cook without the cover because it turns out too dry and it turns very chewy. And then you're going to bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure to flip it halfway through. And while that's cooking, I am chopping up all my veggies, and then I'm going to add my favorite seasonings, and then I'm going to bake them as well. You can either bake it at the same time or you can air fry them, which I actually ended up doing because I find air frying things is much faster than heating up a big oven. And I absolutely love roasted red pepper seasoning from Clubhouse, and I added some garlic powder, some smoked paprika, and I lightly sprayed it with some avocado oil just to season them nicely. And then I air fried my veggies. You can add whatever seasoning you like. You don't have to stick to the seasonings that I am using here. While these veggies are cooking, seitan steaks were done. So then now I'm going to add some barbecue sauce on top. This is the barbecue sauce I'm using, and I'm using a nice grilling skillet. If you have a grilled skillet where you can cover it on top to get those grill marks, that would work really nicely, but I don't have that, so I'm just using this skillet. And I've added about 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce on each side for all the 4 steaks, and then I did the same thing on the other side. And you really want to do this for just about 2 to 3 minutes on the stovetop. As these steaks are already cooked, you're just seasoning it with some barbecue sauce on top. I highly recommend adding barbecue sauce. That's what gives it a nice flavor. For my kids' version, I end up adding more barbecue sauce because that's what they like, but for my version, I keep the barbecue sauce very light. I also decided to make some coleslaw last minute. I had this in the fridge, and I'm using my pre-made tofu sriracha mayo. The recipe for that is on my website. I will leave that link for you guys below. And it was just easy way to add more veggies to my meal, so I just did that real quick. And then I added everything together in a bowl with some sriracha mayo again on top. I absolutely love that stuff, guys. If you don't like sriracha tofu mayo, feel free to add any other sauce of your choice, but I absolutely love it and I can never get sick and tired of it, so I use it in my meals all the time. Super simple way to add veggies and have a higher protein meal. Highly recommend this if you struggle to put on muscles as a vegan. You do need to add more protein to your diet. Trust me, guys, I've learned that the hard way on my fitness journey. I hope you guys will try out all the meals that I've shared here today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon on my next video.